సార్ నేను డిసెంబర్ థర్డ్ నుంచి డిసెంబర్ థర్డ్ నుంచి స్టార్ట్. తెలీదు, క్రౌడ్ బట్టి. ఎక్కువ బ్యాచ్ అక్కడ ఉంటే అక్కడికి వెళ్ళాలి. నేను ఉండేది మోతీనగర్, అక్కడ ఎస్ఆర్ నగర్ దగ్గరే. అలా ఏముండదు, బ్యాచెస్ బట్టి. ఇప్పుడు ఎలా అయినా ఆల్రెడీ 2 స్టార్ట్ చేశాను, సో ఇది అయిపోయే వరకు ఇక్కడే ఉండాలి పక్క. నాకు తెలిసి మనం మార్నింగ్ వస్తే 2 and 4 చేయమంటారు. ట్రాన్స్పోర్టేషన్ ఒకటే బాధ. వెహికల్ ఉంది, బట్ అయినా కూడా కష్టమే కదా, అక్కడికి వెళ్ళకంటే కష్టం కొంచెం. రైట్, సో yesterday we went and we did all this. రైట్, సో ఈ 5 steps చేసాము, రైట్. సో అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ we need to run one more thing as well. So చూపించాము, yesterday we went like contribute event handlers. So I told that we need to copy it. సో అది ఎక్కడ కాపీ చేయాలంటే యూజర్ లోకల్ నాజోస్ షేర్. సో వాట్ ఐ డిడ్ వాస్, చెప్పండి. అవునా, ఓకే. ఐ మీన్ లైక్ నిన్నటి వరకు చేసిన 5 steps. సో ఇక్కడ వరకు మనం యాక్చువల్గా వి కంప్లీటెడ్ టిల్ హియర్ ఎస్టర్డే. ఇవి 5 మొత్తం ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసాం. సో ఇవి ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసిన తర్వాత మనకి ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇక్కడ పర్టికులర్ డైరెక్టరీలో ఇఫ్ యూ సీ ls, so we got something called a contribute event handlers. Right, you will have particular directory. No, లాగేసాను గట్టి. ఒకసారి ఇటు పైకి అనేసి లాగేసండి, అది కింద లాక్ ఉంటుంది ఇలా అని. యా, లాగేసి ఇప్పుడు పైకి పెట్టి రావట్లేదా? ఓకే, ఫైన్. So a particular directory, I need to copy it into user local nagios. So what I'll do is like sudo copy -r. I know it is there in my contrib modules and event handlers. I need to copy it into user local nagios, right? And I can say something like lib execute. రైట్, దిస్ ఇస్ వాట్ యూ నీడ్ టు డూ. బేసికల్గా ఏం చేస్తుందంటే మనం ఇంతకుముందు మేక్ ఇన్స్టాల్ అవన్నీ కొట్టాం కదా, అవి కొట్టినప్పుడు నాకు అన్ని వాట్ యు సే ఈవెంట్ హ్యాండ్లర్స్ అన్నీ వస్తాయి అనమాట ఆ పర్టికులర్ డైరెక్టరీలో. ఇప్పుడు నేను లోకల్గా ఉన్న డైరెక్టరీ ఇక్కడికి. యా, అవును, ఇది బైనరీ ఇన్స్టలేషన్స్. ఇవన్నీ మనం మొత్తం ఎన్ని చూసాము, డిఫరెంట్ టైప్స్ ఆఫ్ ఇన్స్టలేషన్స్ చేసాం. ఒకటి త్రూ ఆర్పిఎం, ఇంకోటి ప్యాకేజ్, ఇంకోటి బైనరీస్. బైనరీస్లో సెకండ్ టైప్. బైనరీస్లో ఒకటి మనం చేసింది ఏంటి, నెక్సస్, టామ్ క్యాట్. అవి ఏం చేసాము, డైరెక్ట్గా ఆ స్పెసిఫిక్ డైరెక్టరీలోకి వెళ్ళేసి బిన్ డైరెక్టరీలోకి వెళ్ళేసి ఎగ్జిక్యూటబుల్ ఫైల్ రన్ చేస్తాం. ఇక్కడ ఏంటి అంటే బైనరీస్ ఉన్నాయి, ఆ బైనరీస్ని కంపైల్ చేసి రన్ చేయాలి. దానికోసమే మేక్ అవన్నీ మనం వాడింది. ఈ ప్రాసెస్ వెళ్ళాల్సింది అంతే. దిస్ ఇస్ హౌ నాజోస్ గోస్. రైట్, ఉబుంటులో మీకు డైరెక్ట్గా ప్యాకేజ్ ఉంది, బట్ దీనిలో లేదు. అక్కడైనా మళ్ళీ మీరు ప్లగిన్స్ మాత్రం యాస్టిస్ ఇదే మెథడ్లో చేయాలి మళ్ళీ, ప్లగిన్స్ కూడా. ఎందుకంటే కంప్లీట్గా సిబి అదే డెవలప్ అయింది కాబట్టి అప్లికేషన్ అంతే. సో బేసికల్గా నాజోస్ చేయాలంటే ఈ సెట్ ఆఫ్ డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ పక్కా ఉండాల్సిందే. రైట్, సో ఐ కాపీడ్ ఇట్. రైట్, వన్స్ ఐ కాపీ ఇట్, రైట్, ఐ నీడ్ టు చేంజ్ ద వాట్ ఇస్ ఏ ownership as well. Right, I'll simply say sudo chown -r and I'll say nagios. Right, which I created over there. Right, I'll say user local libexe లో I got event handlers, isn't it? ఎందుకంటే అది కాపీ చేశాను కాబట్టి. Right, ఇక్కడ ఉంది ఈవెంట్ హ్యాండ్లర్స్ అని. I copied it to user local nagios. Then I am changing the ownership. Right, fine. So these steps are, like I told you, you need to remember it. That's it. Right. So once you do this, right, then we need to create the password. Nagios admin, if you see, go down, right, you need to create some particular password like this. Right. So I'll just copy it up and I'll say sudo this particular thing. Right. Sriman, we started Nagios. మీరు అప్పుడు విన్నారా? Nagios స్టార్టింగ్లో విన్నట్టున్నారు కదా, ఆ క్లాస్లో విన్నారు. రైట్, ఇది జస్ట్ లైక్ సెకండ్ క్లాస్ టుడే. ఫస్ట్ బేసికల్గా నేను అంత వి టాక్డ్ అబౌట్ ఒడిసే థియరీ ఓన్లీ. అసలు ఎలా వర్క్ అవుతుంది, ఎన్ఆర్పి ఎందుకు వాడతాం, ఎస్ఎస్ఎల్ కమ్యూనికేషన్, అది వేరే ఆ క్లాస్, ఇది డిఫరెంట్ క్లాస్. నేను చెప్తాను దీని మీటింగ్ అయితే, దీని డిఫరెంట్ నెంబర్ యాక్చువల్లీ. ఓకే, దెన్ ఇక్కడ నుంచి సరిపోతుంది. సో ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే బేసికల్గా నాజియోస్ యూఐకి పాస్వర్డ్ సెట్ చేస్తున్నాం. రైట్, యూజర్ నేమ్ నాజియోస్ అడ్మిన్ బై డిఫాల్ట్. రైట్, సమ్ పాస్వర్డ్, లెట్స్ సే ఐల్ గివ్ ద సేమ్ పాస్వర్డ్. గూగుల్ క్లౌడ్లో కూడా ఎనీవేర్ యూ వాంట్. ఇప్పుడు నేను గూగుల్ క్లౌడ్లో చేస్తున్నాను, సెపరేట్. మీరు వేగ్రెంట్ త్రూ చేసుకోవచ్చు, దీని త్రూ అని చేసుకోవచ్చు, గూగుల్ త్రూ. రైట్, సో ఐల్ సే nagios admin, same password. Right, so it said it added the specific user. సో ఎప్పుడైతే ఈ ప్రాసెస్ అయిన తర్వాత మీకు పర్టికులర్ నాజియోస్ అనేది కరెక్ట్గా ఇన్స్టాల్ అయిందా లేదా అని చెక్ చేసుకోవడానికి, లేదంటే సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్స్ ఏమైనా వచ్చినాయని చెక్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఈ పర్టికులర్ కమాండ్, వెరీ హ్యూజ్ కమాండ్, యూ డెఫినెట్లీ నీడ్ టు రిమెంబర్ ఇట్. రైట్, సో యూ హ్యావ్ సంథింగ్ కాల్ లైక్ /user local nagios లో we got bin. Right, under that you got a nagios. So which is permission denied, no problem. So okay, yeah, మీరు కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ డేటాను వెరిఫై చేయాలి. Right, with the help of -v tag. Right, ఈ nagios కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ ఎక్కడ ఉంటుందంటే ఇట్ విల్ బి దేర్ అండర్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ డైరెక్టరీ -v. సో మనం ఇప్పుడు చేసిన కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ అంతా ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది, యూజర్ లోకల్ nagios etc and nagios.conf. కరెక్ట్గా ఇన్స్టాల్ అయిందా లేదా అని తెలుసుకోవడానికి we need to go with this particular file. అంటే మనం చేసిన సెటప్ అనేది కరెక్ట్ ఉందా లేదా, ఏమైనా సింటాక్స్ ఎర్రర్స్ ఉంటే ఈ కమాండ్ చెప్తుంది బేసికల్గా. Right, so once I run this command, right, it will tell me. చూడండి, so it says things look okay, no serious problems were detected as of now. Right, so ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇక్కడ పైకి వెళ్ళాను అనుకోండి, చూడండి, you checked one host. అంటే what is the meaning of hosts here? These are like your clients అన్నమాట. బట్ కరెంట్లీ వన్ హోస్ట్ ఎందుకు అంటుంది? ఇట్ ఈస్ మానిటరింగ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ రైట్ నౌ. నాజియోస్ కోర్ ఉంది కదా, మాస్టర్ ఈస్ ఐడెంటిఫైయింగ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. నేను ఒక్కసారి క్లయింట్స్ యాడ్ చేశాను అనుకోండి, ద నంబర్ కీప్స్ ఆన్ యాడింగ్ అప్. రైట్, మేకింగ్ సెన్స్? అది యాజ్ ఆఫ్ నౌ యువర్ నాజియోస్ కోర్ ఇస్ మానిటరింగ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ కరెంట్లీ. రైట్, సో ఇది చేసిన తర్వాత వీ నీడ్ టు స్టార్ట్ ద నాజియోస్ అండ్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ వీ నీడ్ టు స్టార్ట్ అవర్ HTTP. right? Because HTTP is going to give the UI for us, right? So I'll simply say sudo etc init.d/nagios and say start. ఇది ఎప్పుడు వచ్చిందంటే నిన్న మనము ఇనిట్ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ రన్ చేసాం కదా, మేక్ ఇన్స్టాల్ ఇనిట్, అప్పుడు ఈ పర్టికులర్ ఫైల్స్ జనరేట్ అవుతూ ఉంటాయి. Right, once I do this, then Nagios will start. Right, it says Nagios started successfully. Right, then let's check if HTTPD is there or not. Right, so both the things are good and running up. Right, ఇప్పుడు I'll go and check my IP. Right, so let's say what is the URL of this machine. Instead I forgot it. Nagios core 253. Right, so once I do this, right, now I'll be able to see whether my Nagios has successfully started or not. Right, so basically ఇది చేసినప్పుడు ఏంటి అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఇది రాదు యాక్చువల్గా. ఇప్పుడు ఐ మీన్ లైక్ లెట్స్ సే ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇది తీసుకెళ్ళి స్పెసిఫిక్గా రన్ చేసిన ఇట్ వోంట్ కమ్ అప్. ద రీజన్ వై బికాస్ చెప్పండి. అర్థం అవ్వలేదు. పోర్ట్ నెంబర్ ఇస్తున్నాం, బట్ ఐ టోల్ యూ వన్ థింగ్ టు రిమెంబర్ ఎస్టర్డే. Nagios ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసినప్పుడు వాట్ ఆర్ ద టూ కాంపోనెంట్స్ వి నీడ్? కోర్ అండ్ ప్లగిన్స్. నేను ప్లగిన్స్ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేశాను యాజ్ ఆఫ్ నో? No, right, I did not install any plugins. We just installed the core. Right, so if I say, and if I go and hit enter, network. ఎందుకంటే రికార్డింగ్ ఇంకా నాకు మెసేజ్ వస్తుంది, రికార్డ్ అవుతా వస్తుంది, నెట్ స్లో వస్తుంది. Just connect it up. But if I go and run my Nagios, okay, /Nagios, so it's asking the username and password. Right, I have given something like Nagios. And you see, you'll be able to see the dashboard of Nagios. Right, it says Nagios core has been successfully started on this particular process and it's up and running. Right, these are all the different products from Nagios. Nagios log server, network analyzer, Nagios XI. Right, this is the actual version which has all the features, which is the paid version, paid utility. Right, if you see on your left side, right, this is where you have your hosts. Currently only one host is there. Right, local host is nothing but Nagios server. It is currently having only one host, that is my main server. Right, and if I click on this, I can see the list of services. You see there are some services. If I click on it, You see everything it says nothing. Why? You see what it says libexe check load, check users, check HTTP. There are no plugins as of now. Right? That's the reason why it was not able to go and get the data. Right? Making sense? So మీరు Nagios install చేసిన like Jenkins, if you don't have plugins, it's useless. Nagios కంటే Nagios కున్న plugins కి powerful features. Right? Now let's see how you can go and set up your Nagios plugins. Right? Till here it's okay, right? I mean like start చేసాము, then we went into that particular Nagios. We can see like సో మీరు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అన్ని ఇలా చూసుకోవచ్చు. లైక్ ఇక్కడ మ్యాప్ ఉంటుంది. సో ఇలా మ్యాప్లో చేశారనుకోండి మీకు కనెక్ట్ అయిన మెషిన్స్ అన్ని ఈ మ్యాప్లో కనిపిస్తాయి. యాక్చువల్లీ ఇప్పుడు ఓన్లీ కరెంట్లీ లోకల్ హోస్ట్ ఉంటుంది. ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ లైక్ 200 సర్వర్స్ అన్ని ఇక్కడ కనిపించేస్తాయి. రైట్? ఇప్పుడు కరెంట్ స్టేటస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ డౌన్ బికాస్ దెర్ ఆర్ నో ప్లగిన్స్ అసలు కనెక్ట్ అవ్వడానికి. రైట్? సో లెట్స్ గో అండ్ ఇన్స్టాల్ ద ప్లగిన్స్ రైట్ నౌ. సో మీరు ఎక్కడ ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయాలి అంటే ప్లగిన్స్, we need to go and download the plugins right now. Right? So like yesterday మనము ఏదైతే ఇన్స్టాల్ చేసామో we need to do the same process. Nagios plugins download. This is Nagios plugins. Right, same thing, right? So I'll just say like copy link address and make sure you are keeping Nagios plugins outside, not inside this particular directory. Right? Go back to your home directory. Right? Now I'll download my plugins here. I'll say duplicate and the specific Nagios plugins. Right? And if I check, yes, I have my Nagios plugins as well. And I'll say tar xf Nagios plugins. Right? And I got the Nagios plugins with me. Same process. నిన్న మనం ఏం చేసాం అలానే ఉంటుంది. So again, if I go into Nagios plugins, I'll see all that configuration related files and everything. Right? Right? I'll simply say /configure again. You see, it is going and doing all that compilation process like yesterday. ఎందుకంటే Nagios, its plugins, everything is built in the same way. So ఒకసారి మీరు చేస్తే అదే ప్రాసెస్ you will be repeating for any host you are connecting. దాని తర్వాత we need to also install NRPE plugin then later on. NRPE plugin దేనికి? Yesterday we talked, right? What is NRPE? Nagios Remote Plugin Executor. What it does? It will communicate with your clients and it takes the information, right? Metrics. It will collect the metrics, right? Okay. So make file is generated, right? మీకు ఎప్పుడైనా make file కనిపించిందంటే it means like you got that particular configuration file with you. You need to make install it, right? So I'll simply say make. Right. Then I'll go with make install. Right. It says permission. Okay, I need to use sudo, I guess. Let's go and sudo make install. Yeah. Now there are no errors, right? So it went and it executed all that particular process for me. Once this is done, now I think I should be able to go and check out whether all my particular things are done or not. So what I did, sudo make install, right? So let's go and maybe like once I'll restart my server again, right? So So I'll say /etc init.d nagios, say restart, right? I need to go with the sudo access. Right, it went and restarted my nagios. Now if I go and run my particular process again, you see it says up. Why? After installing my plugins only, it was able to identify. Right? Until and unless you don't have plugins, right, you cannot make the communication, right, between your master server and all the hosts. Right now, if I click on services, you see it is slowly picking up one by one. It takes some time. So currently, it went and monitored our root partition, and it said, okay, almost like 80% is free. Right, one by one, it keeps on searching these services. Right, in 5-10 minutes, everything would be up and running up, no problem. Right, so making sense. So anything you want to configure, you should definitely have Nagios plugins installed. In clients, now I'm going to do the same particular process, right? But before that, to make the communication, we need to have something called like NRPE plugin, right? So let's go and install the NRPE plugin as well, right? So I'll say not only Nagios plugins, but I need, you see there is something called like find more plugins. In this particular thing, you can go and get the NRPE plugin as well. Yet you see there is something called like NRP. I'll click on NRP. Yeah, we got into NRP, and the same thing yesterday we saw it. So yeah, this is the project. Yeah, this is the download URL, GitHub Nagios NRP. Right, I'll just copy this link. Right, and I'll come back and I'll say I'll download the NRP plugin as well. Right, and if you see, I got my NRP as well. So I'll say tar xf NRP. Right, now this is going to extract all the particular files. Then now I need to do some list of set of things. Right, so I'll go to cd NRP, and how NRP basically it is making the connection. I told you, right, it goes with the SSL based configuration. And yesterday we installed the OpenSSL as well, right? So that particular package should be there if you want to make the connection through SSL based, right? Right, then I'll do the same particular thing. So I'll say again ./configure. Right, see if you configure the what do you say Nagios remote, I mean like core, right, everything is like same, isn't it? You're just going it, you're running the configure script again. You see it is generating, linking, and your SSL is going to work right now. So it is generating your SSL certificates currently. And like I mentioned yesterday, right, so how it is working actually, this diagram, right, this is very important. Right, it will check for something called like check NRP. Now we need to check whether this particular check NRP has been successfully installed or not, right? So let's see if it's there actually. Yeah, you see, and by default your Nagios is going to run on port 5666, right? And we need to make sure that this 5666 is open in your clients. Making sense? Because the communication is going to happen on port 5666. So we need to open 5666 ports on particular clients you are configuring. Right? So before that, so what it says, to make install it, you need to go with the make all. So I'll say sudo make all. Right, compilation is fixed. Now I'll say make install again. Right. It went and it installed as well. So once this is done, now you should be able to see something called like user local nagios libexe, and there should be something called like check nrp. Yes, you have nrp. This particular script is going to do all the communication. Right, the check nrp is the one which is going to do all that particular communication, right? So let's restart this particular nagios server, and let's see how we can go and set up the clients as well, right? So in the meanwhile, let's restart it because it needs to take all those changes, right? So sudo slash etc init.d slash nagios. Right, it went and it restarted my server, and if I go and check in my nagios server, you see slowly it's keeping and going up. Right, you are having your host. Yes, all your services are up. But one thing it is showing swap usage critical. Why? Because by default your Google what do you say instances, right? They don't give swap space. So what is swap? Anyone knows? Like what is swap? Sorry, sorry, I didn't get that. Change. I mean, like let's say you want to basically swap. What it does means whenever your RAM gets let's say yeah, I mean like let's say it's highly utilized and there is only little bit amount of RAM is there, right? Then what it does is it will take swap memory, nothing but it will take the memory of your hard disk and it will act like a RAM, which would be very slow generally. Already Google Clouds are completely your what do you say VM instances, connection only very slow. That's the reason why generally Google will disable that swap. Work the same thing with your Vagrant. I want you to do the setup on the Vagrant machines as well with the help of Vagrant. Now, when you are setting up Vagrant, what happens? Machine is in your local system. By default, swap gets created, right? Now you can check this one also green, but currently why it is red because you don't have swap. But all other things you can see, right? Load average it says okay, current users too. It says HTTP is there, and you see HTTP it says 403. Why? You got the error, right? Earlier. Why did you get that error? No. For authentication error is not 403. 401 is authentication error. Unauthorized. What file is not there? Index.html is not there. Where? Now this is what server? So where should it be there? HTML, right? So what I'll do is like I'll keep some dummy page over there. Let's see what happens after some time. So it says it's not critical, but it says warning. It says it does not find any particular file over there, right? So I'll go to this sudo vim slash etc not etc, right? Var www html. So currently there is no file. You see, if I double click, I'm not getting anything. By default, it will not be there, right? I'll say html and let's say something like I'm saving this. Right? After some time, automatically that would turn green. Why it was saying a warning? Because there was no index.html. You got the same error 403 forbidden. Right? So you currently have your server setup, right? I mean basically your Nagios core is ready. Core. This is the core server, right? If you see there, right, it says this one. So when I installed it, right, it has shown me, right? It said like you see Nagios core 4.3, and we are logged in as Nagios admin currently, right? Now let's go and set up the clients. Now I need to add the new clients, isn't it? So basically you can either add with Google Cloud, Vagrant, but basically when you do the setup, make sure both the machines are on the cloud or both the machines are on your on-premise. Right? You cannot keep one machine in cloud and one machine in on-premise. Both should be either on the cloud or both should be on your on-premise. Right? So what I'll do is like I'll create one more machine in the backend. I'll say something like no, something like let's say node 1. I'll copy up. So I'll create one more. I'll say .sh id underscore say dot public. Copy this. And I'll create one more instance called something like node 1. CentOS is my operating system. So HTTP, HTTP, SSH keys. Now it's creating my second machine. Now, what are the things we need to install in client? Now, should I install core again in client? No need, right? If I install core again, it will identify itself again. It becomes one more master server only, right? I don't need that. Basically, I'll configure client, but I'll not install complete Nagios core. I'll only install plugins, right? So let me log into that node 1 machine currently. So I just SSH so this is my node 1 which I created right now. Right. So I have my node 1 with me. Now the configuration is like same yesterday. Now again you need to install every particular configuration we did yesterday. Again you need to install OpenSSL Devil, Duplicate, GCC, because all those are your C-based plugins again. You need to compile them and run all those particular applications, right? So that's why you need to have make and all that particular configurations. So let me go to that. I think like I have saved that configuration data, right? So let me check. The system is like dying up. It's not responding. Net connect and hang అయిపోయింది. Okay, right. Because I don't remember all those things. That's the reason why I just copy paste in this site. Okay. So first thing, then I also need to add the user here as well, right? So I'll do the same thing like yesterday. So we went and we did user add Nagios. We created a user called Nagios, and yesterday we installed a couple of applications. But here you don't need HTTP and all those. right? Only the compilation related tools, PHP, GD, GCC, OpenSSL, right? These are required, right? So I'll just say like install all these tools again. Just you are not installing core here, that's it. Apart from it, again you are going to install your Nagios plugins and all this again. net-tools netstat కమాండ్ కోసం నేను 5666 ఓపెన్ అయిందా లేదా చెక్ చేసుకోవాలి కదా, దానికోసం net-tools. netstat రావాలంటే we need to use net-tools package. Right, I told you, right? So it would be like boring like this only. All you need to do is like ఒకసారి కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తే ఈ డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ ఒకసారి ఉంటే మీరు 100 కాదు 1000 అని యాడ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇదే ప్రాసెస్ అంతే. నాజియోస్ రియల్ టైం కూడా అంతే. మీరు వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఏదైనా ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో ఓన్లీ నాజియోస్ పైనే మీ లైఫ్ అయిపోతుంది. మానిటరింగ్ టూల్స్ చాలా వాస్ట్ ఉంటాయి. ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ మీరు సపరేట్గా వెళ్ళారనుకోండి, దాని లోపల రౌటర్స్ మానిటరింగ్ ఉంటుంది, స్విచెస్ మానిటరింగ్ ఉంటుంది, అన్ని ప్లగిన్స్, ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ ప్లగిన్స్ మళ్ళీ, రైట్? different types of monitorings completely, right? Now this is good. Now what I'll do is like I'll go and basically get that particular what do you say, Nagios plugins again, right? So I have my Nagios plugins. You see now it says good, right? Why? Because it was able to identify the index.html file. Let's go to plugins again. So download the plugins back. So I'll say copy link address. Right, I'll say tarxf Nagios plugins. Right, and I have the same thing. I'll say cd Nagios plugins, and I'll say same thing /configure. I mean, like it's not so tough, right? మీరు సేమ్ ప్రాసెస్ అగైన్ ఒకసారి కాన్ఫిగర్ చేస్తారు, దెన్ యుల్ గో విత్ మేక్ ఇన్స్టాల్ డన్. బట్ ఏంటి అంటే యూ నీడ్ టు మేక్ షూర్ దట్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఆల్ ద ప్రీ రిక్విసైట్ అప్లికేషన్స్, జీసీసీ, జీడీ, పిహెచ్పి, ఓపెన్ఎస్ఎల్, అవన్నీ ఒకసారి కరెక్ట్గా ఇఫ్ యూ మేక్ good documentation of Nagios, that's good enough. And I'll say the same thing. I'll say error, no, right? We did not get any specific error. Make install. Once that is done, you have the plugins installed in your client machine as well, right? Then we need to go and again do the configuration for your NRP, right? It's done. So let's go and download again your NRP plugins. I'll say copy the link address. So e-process, any client, you need to do the same thing. You need to add the user called Nagios. You need to install all those prerequisites. You need to install what do you say, NRP plugin, Nagios plugins. And script rasna sarkotum basically. And let's say I'll do wget. Right, and I have my NRP. I'll say tarxf NRP. I have it, so I'll say cd NRP. And like earlier, I'll just go and do the configuration again for this /configure. You see again it is going and generating your SSL certificates. బట్ మీరు క్లయింట్లో వీ నీడ్ టు గో విత్ 3-4 మోర్ ఎక్స్ట్రా ప్యాకేజెస్ అనమాట. మాస్టర్లో జస్ట్ install and make install, right? But clientలో we need to go with 3 or 4 particular plugins again. Make install it. Just, I mean, like once this is done, right, it will give the same particular hint saying this should be there in your particular system right now. Yes, it says review the options, type make to get the list of make options or make install, right? So I can do either of them. I can directly say make also. If I say make, it will give me, you say, all install plugins, install daemon, install init, right? There are different options you can go up with that. I'll say make all. It does particular things and everything it does. It says compilation finished, and now you can continue to go with the installation process. I'll say sudo make install. Right now it was successfully able to do that. Now what you need to do is like you basically need to go with something called like xinit.d. xinit. So అదేంటి అంటే బేసికల్గా ఇట్స్ నెట్వర్కింగ్ రిలేటెడ్ థింగ్. సో కమ్యూనికేషన్ అవుతుంది కదా ఇప్పుడు నాకు. సో దీని త్రూ అవుతుంది అనమాట ఇప్పుడు యాక్చువల్గా. xinit. It says it's an open source super server daemon, runs and manages internet based connectivity. So basically na clients ki server ki it happens through this xinit, right? I need to configure this one as well right now, right? So how we are going to do that is in this particular your machine, right? So you should have your /user local nagios, right? You have these things, right? Here you need to create your configuration files right now, right? So you'll say sudo mkdir, not even is required, so I'll say user local nagios etc, right? I'm creating something called like etc directory, right? Under this I need to go and do some changes after some time, right? So I'll say cd nrp, and you see I have some particular configuration files here. So there is something called like sample config, right? So you have some configuration file in that which you need to copy into your etc directory which I created earlier, right? If I say ls sample config, you have something called like nrpa configuration. You need to copy this configuration into the etc directory which I created earlier, right? So I'll simply say sudo cp sample config and nrp.config, right? I want this to be copied into /user local nagios etc directory, right? And similarly what I need to do is like I need to go and change some xinit configuration as well, right? So I'm not sure whether it's created by default or not. So let's say cd sample config. No, it's not created. So we need to create some xinit.d configuration, and I'll just like copy that thing. So it's very typical thing to understand. All right, I'll say sudo vi what is it, nrp dot xinit, right? This is a particular file you need to create up, right? Where you need to keep some configuration, right? And in this particular configuration let me check, right? This is what I need to select up. Right, this is a configuration you need to update them. Now it says the port number which is going to work is 5666. You need to make these particular things nagios, and this is where you need to add the IP address of your server in the sense, sorry, Nagios core. Now client should give some information, right? To whom it should give to all these metric values core. We need to add the Nagios core here, this particular configuration, right? So what I'll do is like I have this Nagios core IP address with me, right? Yes, this is my Nagios core. This is the IP address of my Nagios core. I need to update all this information into my that particular file which I created earlier. So I'll just copy it up. We go to this file and I'll update this information over there. Okay. So like I told you, this is all about configuration. Once you do it correctly, right, you don't need to bother about anything else later, right? So I'll just like save it up this thing. Now what I'll do is like I'll copy this particular configuration file into something called like etc xinet.d. Right, there is some init process which is going to start again and again, where I need to copy this configuration files again. Right? I'll simply say sudo cp what is the file we created, nrpa dot xinetd. So that spelling is also very important, xinetd, right? And I need to copy it into something called like etc xinet, okay, yeah, xinet.d, and under that we need to create something called like nrp. Right, I'm just copying that file to this particular etc directory, right? And by default in your client, services will not be added, so all your services would be present under this file, etc services, etc services, right? And this is a particular file where you have all your services and their port numbers. If you go down, right, you see it says like all the things like 25, port 22 where your SSH is working up, 23 telnet, right? Similarly, you have 5666. I am searching for 5666, and you see it says it's used by NRP. So I'll add the particular information as well. So I'll say I want to go with NRP, and what's the port number? 5333/TCP, and I know this is my NRP service. I'm adding it up manually over here, right? So once I do this particular changes, now I need to change the ownership as well, right? I'll change sudo chown, right? I'll say -r nagios colon nagios, and I need to change it into my user local and nagios. Right. Once I change it, I need to start my xinetd right now. Once I start that, then I'll able to see that netstat. So currently, if I say netstat -ntpl, my 5666 has not yet started. Right. Then I need to go and start the particular thing over there. Right. So what I'll do is like sudo what is it /etc. Not if not, I can directly say service, I guess. Sudo service xinetd. So start it up. It says it's started. Now once I see that netstat -ntpl, yes, my 5666 is currently started communicating. Right now, how you need to go and check that particular configuration. Right. So if everything is good, right, now you actually should be able to make the connection from your server to clients. Right now, what I'll do is like I'll go to my Nagios core machine. Right. Then I'll say /user. It has broken the pipe. Right, and I'll say /user local nagios libexe, and we have something called like check nrp. Right, I told you, right, this is a particular thing which makes the communication. In our diagram, we have seen this check NRP is the one which is going to make the connection. And I'll say -h, and I want to give the client. What's the client we are currently using? We need to grab the IP address of that client. So I'm using, sorry, client IP. See, I'm currently in the core machine, right? From my core, I want to make the check whether it is connecting to my client machine or not. I'll say this one. Now, if I get something like NRP version, it means your NRP connection has been successful. Now your client and your server both were able to make the communication through that SSL channel, right? That's what this particular thing has been done. Now this is very huge. Now you need to do the same process for any client you want to add. Not for 1, 2, 3, 10. Yes. For every particular thing, you need to go and add up all these changes. Right? No, I told you that, so it is somewhat like confusing. So once you do that, right, if you're able to successfully configure it, that's good enough. Actually, you don't need monitoring. Monitoring is something we generally very experienced people do it. Because when you're doing monitoring, right, you need to know lots of factors. You need to know how the network is working. You need to know how your hardware works, right? So generally monitoring we are currently doing with something like RAM, hard disk space like this, but in real time they go with something like high things like monitoring routers, monitoring switches, right? On infrastructure and hardware level part, CPUs. CPUs currently it is going up, no problem, but network analyzing everything is not there currently, right? Now what you need to do is like, now let's check and go to the specific machine right now. So if I go and if I see, you see currently I cannot see anything apart from my local host, isn't it? If I say host, you see still I am using only one particular host. Now you need to add your clients. How you are going to do that? Again, there is one huge process which we need to add it up. That now you currently configured everything on the client. Now you need to configure the details on your, what do you say, server as well. Right? So let's go and configure your server machine again, right? So I'll go back to my server, and basically we need to create our own configuration files right now. So let's say we created some hosts, right? We need to go and attach all these hosts. So that particular configuration is there under your sudo, yeah, vi. So we need to create a file under /user local nagios. You have something called like etc directory, right? Under that we create a file called hosts.configuration file and one more file called services.configuration file. Hosts to add all the clients, services to monitor those plugins. I mean, like let's say check underscore load, check underscore users. That is used with these two particular files. So I'll create a file called host.cfg. I didn't know. I'll update that file later. And similarly, services.cfg. Right. So I currently have two particular files. Right now I need to add this configuration. I mean, like I need to tell, yes, I included two new files called hosts and services, right? That I need to update it up actually. I open this another conversation. Right. Now let's go and add these two configuration files. We could add just some. We have something called like vi /user local nagios etc nagios.com. Right. Now if you see here, if I come down, so this is your complete Nagios configuration. You see, you currently have some templates, commands, right? I added new two files. One is host and another is services. That I need to add it up here. So I'll say configuration file till etc. One more file called etc. One is uh, crvics dot g and one is not cfg, because this is the main configuration file, my nagios.configuration. So whenever my nagios is running my particular client side, this is where it tries to look up for the information. Now I need to tell, like, yes, I am going to include two new particular configuration files, separate for my host, separately for my services, right? I'll just like save this configuration, right? Now I need to define my hosts, very important, right? Defining host is nothing but we need to add up what kind of services, or let's say what is the IP address, what is the node of my client machine over there, right? So I'll go into my particular host file right now. Yeah, slash user local nagios etc and host dot configuration file, right? In this particular file I'll copy some template which I already there with me. Nagios host dot configuration file. Right, this is a particular configuration I need to add. Right, this is what I need to add. Right, so there is, this is where you need to configure it up, and in this particular files only two things you need to change. One is host name and IP address of your clients. This is a template which you need to follow up to define your hosts. If you are defining one more host, right, you will add another host. You'll say again, you'll change the host names and the address of that particular server, right? So currently, let's say I'll go to my host name, and what's the host name I have given there? Something like node 1, isn't it here? And what's the IP address of that machine? The IP address of the machine was 6. Let's say this is the IP address of that specific machine, right? So once you have these two, like these two, where what do you say, parameters, right? Then you can start monitoring the host, right? Now I'll save these changes. Right. Now, apart from host, I need to tell services. Services are nothing but what this machine should start tracking up. Right? In my particular client machine, what I want to go and check the information. Right? So what I do is like I'll go to the services file. Right? And I'll add some services. Let's say currently, I'll add two services, not more. Let's say my CPU load and something like my total processes, right? I want to add those particular things. If not, for timing, just go and add the CPU load. So I'm saying I want to check the load. This is what the template you need to follow it up. Right now, this particular service would be checked on your client machine. So you should keep on adding the services which you want there. Right? Check underscore load is one service. Check underscore process is one service. Check underscore users is one service. Check underscore HTTP was one service. Depending upon what you want to monitor on the client, you add up to this file. Right? Making sense? Right? It's like basically you need to understand like what the things we need to go and monitor it. That's nothing apart from that, right? So let's say I want to load monitor only load right now, and I'll say I'll add those settings up, and now you need to enable one more parameter. So you have something called like commands.configuration file, where you need to enable the check nrp command as well. So I'll say sudo vi slash user local nagios etc, and you got something called like objects and commands.configuration file, right? And this is where you don't have check underscore nrp. If you go down, right, you'll have all the particular commands. You see, this is how internally your host is checking for definitions. You see the same thing which I did. User one, check ping, host address, some warning limits, critical limits. And similarly, if you go check down more, you see local, yes, threshold values. See, this is your warning limit, critical limit parameter you are passing. And if you go down like that, you see check underscore load, right? But currently there is no command like what do you say, check nrp right here, because check nrp is the one which is talking with our thing, right? There is nothing defined like check nrp. Now we need to go and add that check nrp as well, right? So how you'll do that is I'll just go and add it up. So if not, I'll define some command at the end of the file. Let's say this is my command which does, right, check underscore nrp hyphen h host address, right, which will directly pick it from your particular client there, whatever the host address, I mean like we have given, right, from the host file ip address, it will pick it from there, and the arguments which it want to pass it up, right? So let's save this settings, and let's go and try to restart my nagios. I'll say sudo slash etc init.d nagios restart. It says something is not good here. Failed the total process. Why it is failed? Let's check the. It says systemctl status nagios service syntax. Yep. Let's check. Check your configuration files. So it says something is wrong in your configuration file. Check your configuration file directives. You should be able to. If not, I'll use something like a -l option, which gives me status hyphen -l. Alright. So it says something wrong, but basically I have another command, right? I told you for checking syntax errors, I got one more command, right? So let's go and try it with that thing. Sudo slash user local nagios bin, and we got nagios hyphen v. Then I can give the configuration file at user local nagios etc nagios.configuration file. Yeah, it says one or more problems have been detected, and it says reading the config template linux box specified in the host definition could not match the or could not be found. So it says there is something called like a linux box which is telling it is not having that kind of templates. Let's check whether we need to go with something like anything else. Yeah, right. You need to add something called like generic host there. I forgot. because this is not specifically some Linux box. So where was the configuration I made it? Sudo vi slash user local nagios, what is it, etc, and host dot configuration, and this is not your Linux box, this is your generic host. This is a default configuration. Let's check again. It still says, what is that? What it is saying? Yep, it says another thing. What it says? Fail to expand the file register hold. Right, let's go and start. It says could not find any host here because we copied and pasted. This is not C1, right? What is my host actually? Node 1. Node 1. Client. Right? So I need actually I copied and pasted, right, which is work by C1. So let's go and modify it. So where it is in services.configuration file. Yeah, see the host name I have given is wrong here, isn't it? What is the host name actually? Node 1. But that's why that particular command is very helpful. Now if I try to do the check again, invalid, check mat items, node 1 could not register host 1. Invalid max check attempts. So it says we should maybe use something like maximum attempts. Let's check. It says could not register host, but first error. Let's come from the beginning error. Right? What is the first error? It says max value for host one. Did we give you max? Let's check host in this particular file. Let's check in host.cfg. Invalid max. Right. If not, I'll add that particular thing called like max underscore check attempts. Right. Maybe like it was not. You should give that particular thing. Maybe it should at least like try to go and check the attempts. Let's say something like 5 attempts. Let's try to save this thing and check it again. Now it says good. You need to keep on going and checking those configuration files. Right? Now, actually, now it says, you see. So there are some warnings, but fine, no errors as of now. And it says in the backend, you can see that there are 2 hosts right now. Right? So we are able to successfully connect that machine, which is my client C1. Right? So basically, once I do this, let's go and see. And I should also go and restart this particular service, Nagios. Yes, now it successfully restarted because there was some configuration error in that file. Now, if I go into my Nagios core, it says some error. Let's see. Yeah, and if I go into my hosts, yes, currently you are having node 1, but it's still getting updated. In some time, this particular thing would get updated and you should be able to see all your particular configurations. After some particular time, it should get updated. I mean, like you understood, right? Now you need to repeat this process for n number of hours you are going to add it up. So actually, why we are doing monitoring is like it's not so important, but generally, if someone asks like you, what is monitoring, you should at least understand the concept. Like, yes, this is how the clients are going to be there. We are generally going to add some plugins. Any monitoring you take, 100% there will be plugins. Any monitoring tool, right? Some are open source, some are paid, right? Let's check. So how it actually works in the backend is, I'll show it up. So till time it gets updated here, let's go into the backend and try to do that. So how the communication is going to happen in your client machine, right? So you would have something called like NRP configuration. Let's check it. Right. Now, so how it works is like cd slash user local front slash user local nagios edpxe. You see all these particular things, right? If I say check load, can you see there is something called like check load, right? If I say check underscore load, and it says you need to pass some parameters. You see, load one, something like that. You need to pass these configurations to get what you need to do. And similarly, you can do something like SSH configuration is open or not, port number 22, right? How it's going to do? Let's say check underscore something like SSH. You see, it also says that you need to pass some parameters. So what I'll do is like it says -t, right? Let's try -t and some time. And let's say I want to go and monitor this machine itself, right? So I can say something like localhost directory. Yes, it says SSH is okay, right? Like that, you can go and do lots of other things as well. Let's say any particular command you want to run, you need to go and run in the same particular thing. Now, let's say you want to check the HTTP, right? As earlier, it was going and checking out, right? So I'll say check underscore HTTP. Oh, they have like lots of options. Hyphen H. Yeah, there is something like hyphen H, right? I can go and work with the hyphen H. So I'll say and hyphen H. Then let's say I want to go and see something like www.google.co.in. It says google.co.in is successfully responding. Right? If I say something like google dot some random name which is not there, it says invalid host. There is nothing running. Now similarly, let's say I want to go and work with my IP address. I can maybe like let's check if I can directly give the IP address. What's the IP address of this machine? This is the IP address of this one. Right? Now if I run this, yeah, it says because is there any Apache running on this machine? HTTP is trying to check whether the port number is up and running or not. If we give the client, what is a server machine? Let's check on the server machine. This is my server, right? And on server, HTTP is there, isn't it? Let's check the same thing. Yes, it says successful. Why? Because there is a particular page which is being served from my Apache web server, right? So you're making sense, right? So basically, you'll go and add up all those things there. It's taking some time. Let's check. So basically, after some time, right, it would go and update itself, and it will come live into the picture. Right? So basically, this is not so important that you need to understand this, but at least you should have some basic idea of what is monitoring and where we use, right? Because Nagios is such a huge topic, it's like you have separate jobs on this actually, only on Nagios, right? So very huge tool, but at least like if you are able to configure it, that's good enough. And check those services at least they are running or not. If it does not come up, tomorrow we'll come and see it will be up and running. Right? So just like try it out. What I'll do is like I'll send this entire documentation step by step how we are doing it up. Right? Then you'll be able to do the same configuration. Right? I'll send even other services, how you can add up other services, not only like load. Let's say something like we check like different services, right? SSH connection, HTTP connection. You can add, go and add all those parameters as well, one by one, right? I have that entire documentation. I'll send it up. Yeah, you see, node 1 CPU is up and running right now because I only added load there. Now I need to add everything like that one by one. Copy, paste, do all this configurations. Right. So this is how the monitoring looks generally. Very confusing. But the same thing in AWS is like matter of minutes, right? Isn't it? Once you create your instance, in the bottom you can see monitoring. You can get everything. Can we change the? I mean, like we need to install some external applications again to keep some stress on the application and all that. That's the reason why we check the other things, right? So let's say whether your web servers are up and running or not. With the help of this particular check underscore HTTP, check underscore SH, you can easily go and check it out. Yes. See, for checking memory, what is the thing? There is no RAM here. You see, there are some processes, right? So check underscore total underscore procs for that. You need to add up a service. Where you need to go again? You need to go to this particular services file. Again, you need to add something called like define service, add new service, right? Maybe something like let's see if I have that configuration. I'm not sure whether I have it. Procs, right? You were asking the total process. Right, I'll say I'll go to my Nagios server, sudo vi slash user. Connection has been broken up. Right, I'll say sudo vi slash user local Nagios etc services.cfg. Not only load, but let's say I want to add new service. Something like check total process. Right, and what's the host name I want to go with? So these are all predefined templates which we need to go and Google it up actually. Right? Then let's say you need some other services. So I add like all this list of services. Let's say you want to go and do SSH monitoring. Now currently I added 3 services, right? Let me go and save it up and to restart it. Right? And once I go into my Nagios code, SSH monitoring and total process has been started up. After some time again they'll get updated here. Like that you need to keep on adding the services which you want to monitor it. See, I mean like once you do for one machine, you can repeat the same process and again, that's it. Right? That's after some time it again goes and does my SSH monitoring, HTTP monitoring, anything I want. Right? Yeah. Servers, that's it. So let's say, no, we cannot state. No, it's just like monitoring purpose. So basically, you see, you'll have this dashboard, and you can see if something is going wrong, you'll have this kind of notifications. That's it. If you want to do application monitoring, that's different again. This is server monitoring. You have something called like application monitoring again, right? New Relic. We talked about New Relic, right? Yesterday. So that is what it is provides application monitoring. Your Java process, Node.js applications, right? Your MongoDB monitoring, MySQL monitoring, which is like advanced stuff again. That's like paid applications, but you cannot get that in the free. You definitely go and purchase that particular options if you monitor it up. Right? You see, if you go for map, like this, you'll get on keep on adding all your infrastructure services. Yeah. It says there is something called like we need to add it. So it takes some time. So because it's just like did 1 by 3, right? After some time, it should be able to monitor all this. I mean, like you understood it. Basically, what's the concept of this particular thing? So whenever you want to do some monitoring on your systems, that's where you use this particular Nagios, which is very huge and confusing as well, right? But once you have the documentation, you should be good. You should be able to go and add those particular services and do it. 100 clients యాడ్ చేయాలి హోస్ట్లోకి వెళ్తారు హోస్ట్లో ఇంతకుముందు ఓన్లీ ఒకటి యాడ్ చేశాను 100 hosts యాడ్ చేస్తారు మీరు అక్కడ we don't have any other option. Host name, IP address. It keeps on going and tracking it up. But మీరు Nagios score చేసేటప్పుడే you should have some difficulties. Client easy. Right? Nagios server చేసేటప్పుడు మీకు కొంచెం ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ రావచ్చు అది కాన్ఫిగరేషన్ ఇంకా టిపికల్గా ఉంటుంది కదా we need to add it from there, add the clients again, do rework again and again. Basically that's what documentation. So నేను మీకు ఒక డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ పంపిస్తాను, try it out. If you are getting any errors, we'll fix it in that. Right? If you have the documentation, that's good enough. మీకు రియల్ టైంలో కూడా Nagios మీరు ఎలాగనే కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయమని no one will ask. It takes almost like 3-4 hours if you sit in one go. Right? But at least like you need to understand the concept of monitoring. Why we monitor? What is the purpose? నాకు డాష్ బోర్డ్ ఉంది, ఐ కెన్ నో ఇఫ్ సంథింగ్ ఈస్ గోయింగ్ రాంగ్ అని అక్కడ కనిపించేస్తుంది డైరెక్ట్గా. నాకు వెబ్ సర్వర్ ఇంతకుముందు చూడండి 403 అని నాకు ఆటోమేటిక్గా తెలిసిపోయింది. ఇఫ్ మై వెబ్ సర్వర్ ఇస్ డౌన్, రైట్, ఐల్ గెట్ సమ్ నోటిఫికేషన్ లైక్ దట్ 404 not found or something like 403 400 401 unauthorized error, something like that, which generally we can use with the help of Nagios, right? But industry level standard lo we use New Relic mostly. Relic, which is completely paid. AWS ఇవన్నీ మానిటర్ చేసేది New Relic, right? I know